Hey, good morning. Again, my name is Jared, and I host a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist, and that means I just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And these would be the very building blocks upon which the foundation of socialism is egalitarianism. It's like sounds like concrete coming out, right? And that's equalityism, if you really want to talk about it. So I wanted to put some words into your lexicon. Okay? So first, let's talk about the core concept of socialism. By definition, in Merriam-Webster, I'm literally reading it off of the website. Okay? Any of various egalitarian economic and political theories or movements advocating collective and governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. So I know if I'm a reader, and I'm a reader, and the way I was taught to read is read until you find a word you don't know, write that word down. You have two choices now. You can either decide that word is so important that I need to go look that up right now so that I have a concept of what that word is and can move forward with the reading, or some people would just read an entire document, not know what one word means, and now here we are in a fascist authoritarian dictatorship kleptocracy with a bunch of oligarchs, right? And now if you didn't literally pause this video and go look up like 3 or 4 of them words and realize what kind of hellscape we're in, this dystopian nightmare that we're in, right? And what I want to do is arm you with information and say, well, I know a guy building the American Socialist Party that works a full-time job now, in addition to hosts a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics, and he's a well-read socialist. So you could send him my way. I want to introduce you first to the core principle of socialism, and that's egalitarian. And egalitarianism is a belief in, and again, from the fucking dictionary, kids, it is a belief in human equality, especially with respect to social, political, and economic affairs. So, for the record, I made up a word, equalityism. It's a lot easier to say than egalitarianism. Equalityism. And so that's the core principle of socialism, is equality. Okay? And so a lot of people have trouble wrapping their minds around what is socialism. And by definition, any of various equality-based economic and political theories or movements advocating collective and governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. And I know that's the second time I read it. It still sounds like concrete to you, but understand that there are components of socialism. It's like a Build-A-Bear, okay? And so people are like, what kind of socialist are you? Okay. Well, I actually did my research. I am a syndicalist, okay? It's a revolutionary current within the labor movement that, through industrial unionism, seeks to unionize workers according to industry and advance their demands through strikes and other forms of direct action, with the eventual goal of gaining control over the means of production and the economy through social ownership. Okay, so I am a syndicalist. Syndicalist unions first emerged in Spain and North America in the 1870s before rising to prominence in France and later emerging on other continents. Okay, examples: the General Confederation of Labor in France, the Confederation National of Work in Spain, the Italian Syndicalist Union, the Free Workers Union of Germany, Argentine Regional Workers Federation, the Industrial Workers of the World, the Irish Transport and General Workers Union, and Canadian One Big Union. The International Workers Association are all examples of syndicalist unions. Okay, so remember, when I, as the person founding the American Socialist Party, sit down and I tell you what the definition of socialism is, per the fucking the dictionary, I read it to you. Okay, I even explained what an egalitarian is. So yes, you could call me that. No, my name is Jared. I'm trying to point you to a path forward. I'm putting myself in danger by even thinking outside the box, right? Like, everybody wants to maintain the status quo and just bend the knee, kiss the ring, and lick boots, and I don't do that shit. I don't have a taste for leather. You'll have to forgive me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point you, hey, I did a bunch of research. People are like, what kind of economy do you believe in? And I believe in a state-directed economy. And a lot of people are like, oh no, we don't want the state to be in control. Well, understand that a state-directed economy is a system where either the state or worker cooperatives, unions, own the means of production, but economic activity is directed to some degree by a government agency or planning ministry through mechanisms such as indicative planning or this word, deerism. And so what a lot of people are praying for now, right? They're saying, okay, so SCOTUS is on Donald Trump's side. Congress is on Donald Trump's side. And nothing's going to happen to Elon Musk or Donald Trump, except for state charges. Donald Trump and Elon Musk can be charged by state organizations for their crimes, and the Fed cannot interact with that. And that desire that you have in your heart for the state to rise up and charge Elon Musk and Donald Trump and do something about this is a deerism. Right there. That word right there. Deerism. And so that's what you want. And it's an approach to economic development emphasizing the positive role of state intervention. And state intervention is where I'm telling you, it's like when you call the police and you want the police to intervene on your behalf, you want a deerism, which is a socialist, like that's a part of socialism. And so when you think about me, the American Socialist Party, and like the person founding this party, what I am saying is a state-directed economy or socialism can have aspects of a decentralized planned economy or a centralized planned economy. So there's like the thing about saying that I'm a state-directed economy socialist means that I'm open to decentralized planned economies. I'm understood. I am complex. I contain multitudes, right? As a human being with empathy and understanding of concepts that other people are still 4 words back, still Googling, what does that shit mean? Okay? I'm trying to tell you, I did my research. And it ain't just Wikipedia. I've read books. I've voted this way. I've protested this way. I'm now building a political party and helping. I'm receiving help to build a political party. And so I'm making this little video to tell you, like, it's more than just the socialism. You have to read and understand. You have to, like, if you're gonna call yourself a socialist, you're gonna have to be well read enough to read all of the different splinters of the socialist movement and understand that there are 2 sides to this. Either you cave to capitalism and we all die and the movement fails, or you change the course of history by instituting, and this has to happen in the United States fucking yesterday. Socialism now. Universal healthcare. This just means we want all the healthcare industry is cratering. You could fix it. $0 healthcare month plans, just like you give to people with Medicare and Medicaid across the board. People will sign up in droves for free healthcare. That'll drive up all your metrics. It'll cause the revival of the healthcare industry. You never charge the patient anything. You attempt to resolve these things. Either the people that have the financial money to pay their medical bills can pay their medical bills, and that's like I said, that's anybody that has the financial means to do so. And if you simply do not have the financial means to do so, you just hand your bill over to the hospital. The hospital goes to the state and says, hey, we need some form of recompense for this bill. Right? And the state's job is to take your state taxes and effectively pay to keep you alive. That's what the state's job is. by all means. The person, the individualism is like important here. You're not a number. You're like vitally important. Like your demise before you're in your 90s now is a systemic problem. Okay? And what I want to leave behind, regardless of whether I'm able to make it happen or it has to happen after me, is the path forward. Where you have to look at a socialist. First, they're going to ask you, how do you feel about how strong are you in terms of the economy? The economy's broken. It doesn't work for anyone. Well, what do you believe? Well, I believe in a state-directed economy. Why? Well, because first, it can have aspects of a decentralized or centralized planned economy. And being fluid, open, understanding, able to twist the little knobs and levers and pull on things and make them all function and work for all of us is important. It's important to be more than just, you know what I mean? I'm a decentralized planned economist where I want to completely redistribute wealth and I don't want any private ownership of business. And it's like, that doesn't sound very American. Americans wouldn't do that. So I think a state-directed economy is correct in terms of that. As far as market socialism, it's fine. But one of the things I realize is I'm a classic. Other forms of market socialism are based on classical economics, such as those advocated by Thomas Hodgkin, who viewed interest accumulation, rent, and profit as deductions from exchange value, so that eliminating the capitalist element from the economy would lead to free market and socialism. So as a fully formed adult with a fully developed frontal cortex, so this form of socialism, other forms of market socialism based in classical economics. So I'm with Hodgkin here, who viewed interest accumulation, rent, and profit as deductions from exchange value. Eliminating the capitalist element from the economy would lead to a free market and socialism. So I'm a proponent of that. And then when people talk about like what is your ideology, and then when I look at socialism as a whole and their movements, right? I like the idea of a scientific socialists. I like the green anarchos, where there's such a high, like anarchists mean that they don't want the state. And that's fucking silly. Like for the record, you need police, and then you need marshals. You need, oh man, I could go on and on. My entire family's in law enforcement, and I cannot tell you how fucking important the DNR is. Okay? Like, cannot tell you how important the DNR is. The DEA, Jesus Christ. And again, organizations make mistakes all the time. American organizations fuck up all the time. But deerism is what you want. You want the state to fucking intervene, and it be because of the economy is crashing. What Donald Trump is doing is just following what fucking Vladimir Putin wants him to do. You are living in an authoritarian fascist dictatorship bought and paid for by billionaire oligarchs, who want to turn out a modern slave labor based society. And I'm saying our taxes should give us universal healthcare, education, income, and housing. Literally, I'm saying, how about I think we should all get a couple $1,000s a month to not Luigi Mangione every rich person we see the rest of our lives. That's what I'm saying. Like, what would keep me sane is if everyone has universal healthcare, education, income, and housing. That's what would keep me from losing my mind. Isn't that such a wild thing to say out loud, and understand that like socialists have been martyred for saying things like that. So I want to make sure that regardless of what happens to me, understand I am in complete health. I do not own a firearm. I love my wife and my dogs. I am a quiet person. I stay mostly in my office, and I play Path of Exile on my PC. I just chill. I listen to music. This is the first pair of headphones I've ever had that lasted longer than a month. They're Beats. But yeah, I want to make this content for you to like take in and see like, hey, this person actually has read and researched socialism, knows exactly the market idea, as far as your economy, what is correct, what you want from the state. Like, because people are like, why do we need the state? Because the state has organizations that you rely on. DOT, just, I could keep going. There's so many state organizations that you rely on. I just think that everybody that can and should be in a union. And your rise to power, right, within your union is that's your legacy. And like what you're able to accomplish now that you know that's a facet of socialism. It's a movement inside socialism. You're welcome. I know you're drowning in information. Hopefully some of it sticks. Hit me up if you need some. Have a good day.